Welcome into the Brooks Bench with your host, Brooke, aka Shiggy, and my co-host, Megan.
What's up?
If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, follow us on all social media at the Brooks Bench, and join our Discord link in the description. Today we're going over the playoff preview. Playoff starts tomorrow, September 14th. It's going to be exciting. We'll be breaking down each matchup for the first round, and then we'll continue to do it throughout the playoffs. So let's get into it. So it was official. Minnesota obviously clinched a 1 seed. Meg, Valks had to play them. They are the 8th seed after their loss. Vegas is playing Seattle. Phoenix and New York are playing each other, and then Atlanta and Indiana. Now, Meg, let's just get right into the first matchup. Minnesota versus Golden State. Lynx are favored in this matchup, obviously.
hmm
They swept you guys. What was it, 4 times this regular season?
hmm
You guys did come close. You almost beat them, but you guys did not
hmm
in that last series. Tell me about what are you thinking? Like, obviously, it's a feat that the Valkyrie have made it here, but do you need to see them win a playoff game, or this was already a successful season for the Valks?
I think it was already a successful season. Ideally, I wish the regular season would have ended a little bit different, so we
Yeah.
didn't have the Minnesota matchup. But it just didn't work in our favor. But I think just being here is already a win. We already shocked everyone with how successful of a season,
Hmm.
we were able to have. So, yeah, I feel like even if we get swept, I think it's still a win for them, and they shouldn't feel any type of way about it. I mean, we're playing a team that almost won a championship last year. So,
And I will say, with the new playoff format this season, you guys are guaranteed a home game, which I really like. I
mhm.
know Minnesota has beat you guys 4 times. They're probably going to beat you at home that first game, but do you think you can sneak one out in that
you
second game?
you know what? I think if we weren't having to play at a different arena,
Okay.
then I would say, yeah, there's a great chance that we can still a home game because the crowd, I could only see the crowd being even better than we've been all season long because of
Hmm.
what's at stake. But unfortunately, they're not going to be at the Chase Center. They're going to be at the SAP Center.
Hmm.
So I'm not really sure the vibes of that arena, the setup of that arena. But hopefully people pack it out. And I already know the fans are going to support Valk. So
Yeah.
maybe it's to our advantage. So we'll see. But it's kind of hard because the place that they are used to playing their games, they're used to putting their shots up at, it's going to be a whole nother location. So it's kind of like being on the road.
A little bit. I mean, I know the fan atmosphere will be the same as it is in
Right.
Valhalla, but I mean, you're right. You're still playing a different court. It
You're
could.
you're not used
Sorry.
to the ball going into those hoops there. So it is a little. I mean, of course they're going to have
Mhm.
shoot arounds. They're probably practicing there to get a feel, but it's still quite different.
Mhm. Mhm. I mean, we already know Minnesota is the top offense and defensive rated team in the league. It's going to be a tough feat for Golden State, but I will give Golden State uh props because they're gritty. They're also good on the defensive end.
Right.
It's the offensive end that is the concern. So, I mean, with that said, if Tiffany Hayes does not play, is it way more concerning of like more pressure on Veronica Burton? Because I feel like, and Xanda Lucini. I forgot Xanda Lucini as well. Because when we're watching the Valks play, right, we're always like,
hmm
it's always Veronica Burton trying to do everything on her own without
hmm
Hayes and Xanda Lucini there as other scoring options. So, I mean, if the Valks don't have either of those, I mean, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I still think we have a chance. I mean, even in the last games that we played against Minnesota, they were still close games. I mean, yeah, towards the end it pulls away a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but we were still in there because of our defense, right? So it
Mm-hmm.
always starts on the defensive end, and that's somewhere that Veronica really shines. And then now we do have Cecilia back, so that's another person she
Oh, they
could pass the
confirmed?
ball. Well, she played the last game
Oh, that's
before
right. Minute restriction, right?
yeah, and
Yeah,
so
okay.
she's just worked. She already was working her way in the last, like, I think it was the last two regular season games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what's going to happen with Tiffany. I think that getting Tiffany back would only help them
Mm-hmm.
because if we get a full team, I think we could sneak out a win.
Mm-hmm. So, with that said, We'll do X Factor for both teams. For Minnesota, outside of Nafisa Collier, who is your X Factor in this game to win the series?
Courtney Williams.
Okay.
I think, I mean, we've seen the kind of season she's had. We've seen her in the playoff run last year. She controls the floor. She's their point guard.
Hmm.
She's the one that will, decide whether she drives it in, kicks it out, what happens, and what plays are going to happen. So I think if she's at the top of her game and hitting like she was last push off run, I think that makes a big difference for their team.
I'd have to agree with you because once her mid range gets hot, woo,
Yeah,
it's
it's
hard to
unstoppable.
stop,
Yeah.
man. And then on the flip side, who is the X factor for the Valks?
I would have to say it would be Veronica Burton. She controls the game for them.
Mhm.
And I don't think on the defensive end, they've been, slacking. So I think where Veronica becomes the X factor is on the offensive side. Because if you
I
notice
like that.
lately, she's been a little cold. Yes, she's still been assisting and rebounding and getting those numbers, but
Hmm.
she hasn't been the hottest offensively. So if
Hmm.
she's able to do it on both sides of the floor, that's a huge X factor, and that changes the momentum for us.
I like how you positioned it as on the offensive end because we know
Hmm.
she is the Valkyrie. Like,
Yeah.
just the spirit of them, right? And it's like she's had to take on so much more with
Hmm.
Hayes and Zandalicini out. We even said it, she looks exhausted. Like she is giving
Hmm.
100%. And we all know it's hard to play both sides of the floor because she's a
Yeah.
great defender. So you're probably defending, one of the top players on the other side of the floor.
Hmm.
So it's like it's hard to score. But if you have
Hmm.
other options that are able to relieve you of that, like Tiffany Hayes, great defender, right?
Yeah.
If you have that relief, then she has, more opportunities to score, right?
Yeah. And I feel like for Valkyries, I mean, if you look at all their wins this season, it's all because of team effort.
Oh yeah.
There's no win where there's only like one person in double figures. Like it's always multiple people, and it's always usually because they're all hitting.
Mm-hmm.
We've won because we shoot threes and we're efficient at the 3 point line when we get those wins. So
Mm-hmm.
they have to be hot. They have to come out shooting and making sure they're shooting the right shots.
Valks have to play a perfect game. They have to
Right.
hit their threes,
Right.
limit the turnovers. That's how it's going
Hmm.
to have to be for them if they want to squeeze one of these out.
And stay together.
Yeah. So with that said, what is your prediction for this series?
I think I think Lynx win. But my hope, and it could be because I'm biased, I'm a Vouch
Yeah.
fan, but I do think we can probably pull out one win.
Okay. Mine, I'm not gonna lie, I was taking Minnesota with the sweep 2-0.
Hmm.
But there's something about the atmosphere. I mean, it's not really technically Valhalla they're going to be playing in, right? But I mean, Valhalla is the crowd. Like that's pretty
Hmm.
much like, like that's the
Yeah,
vibe of the
the
crowd,
support.
right?
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be sold out. I mean, first ever
Hmm.
playoff game for our franchise team. But I mean, Minnesota's already beat you guys at home with that crowd. So for me, Minnesota sweeps it 2-0. But I don't think you guys go out without a fight. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be gritty, especially the game at home. So
Hmm.
you're 2-1, I'm 2-0. Correct? But Minnesota wins it and
Yeah.
advances? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Let's head over to Atlanta Dream versus Indiana Fever. This one is going to be played right after the Minnesota Valks game. Atlanta is favored in this game by 7.5 points. In the regular season, Indiana and Atlanta both tied the series 2-2. Each team defended home court late in the regular season. Meg, do you think Indiana can still win in Atlanta?
I do. I do. And I
Wow,
think
okay.
I think it's because they still have so much talent on that team. I know they're dealing with a lot of injuries, but they're still so talented. I mean, we got Kelsey
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell, we got Natasha Howard, Leah Boston. Like, I mean, that's still a dynamic like trio right there.
Yeah.
So, yes, I do think, and I think, this whole platform change when now it doesn't matter. They all get a game at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
It changes it. And I think again, just like how we said for the Valkyries, I think the Indiana fans are going to come out and they're going to get one. I think, and then it's going to be on Kelsey's shoulders. Yep.
Okay. So if I mean you're saying they still won at home, does that mean Atlanta stills won at home for Indiana? Because I mean, do you have I mean, I don't want to
Yeah,
jump
I
ahead, but
do. I do
okay.
think that. Yes.
So there's only 3 games. So I mean, you're saying Indiana could win that first game?
Yeah.
at Atlanta home, and then Atlanta returns the favor when they go back to Indiana.
Oh yeah, because they would
There's
be
only
playing
three
at
games.
Atlanta. Yeah, huh?
Atlanta's hot right now.
Hmm.
They finished with 6 straight wins, and they're gonna have that home court advantage the first game. Personally, I think Atlanta's gonna defend home court. It's gonna come down to Indiana at Indiana.
Hmm.
But I mean, Indiana fans are gonna show out for this game as well.
Yeah.
Um, Kelsey Mitchell, like you said, is balling. Aaliyah Boston's balling. I'm curious. I'm curious to see how this matchup works out because I feel like it's going to be tougher than what people are thinking. I feel like with the injuries Indiana has sustained, people have kind of written them off.
Hmm.
Just because, I mean, you lose Caitlin Clark, you lose Sophie Cunningham, Sydney Colson, Ari McDonald, even Chloe Bibby. You injury riddled, right? But they still have, Natasha Howard, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston. They still have good pieces. Um, this
I
this
think
matchup is difficult for me.
I think it comes down to the bigs, to be honest, because
Okay.
I think where Atlanta pulls away is if Brianna Jones and Brittany Griner go out there and dominate.
Okay.
Because they have Aaliyah Boston, they have Natasha, but I mean, let's be real. Brittany and Jones, they're hard to guard,
Hmm.
and they body you every play, which
Hmm.
is tiring.
Hmm.
And the fact is that I just feel like Atlanta's bench and depth is just stronger right now than Indiana because they're dealing with
Got the
all those
injuries.
injuries.
Yeah.
So, the guard play is going to be what it is, right? Kelsey's going to have a game, I'm sure. But
Hmm.
then you got the duo, well, actually the trio because
Oh, Canada's back.
Canada,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Atlanta's going to be tough to beat. They really are, and this is probably actually the series where I do see that Atlanta could sweep Indiana.
Hmm.
If Indiana, yeah, I
It
just
really,
I just don't think it would be enough.
I think you're right. It comes down to the depth piece.
Hmm.
Indiana's lacking the depth. Not to say they won't give Atlanta a good fight, but I mean,
Hmm.
Atlanta's fully healthy right now. Their depth's good. I mean, great. I mean, we talked about Naz Hillman in our previous show being sixth player of the year, and I
Right.
mean, they just have the pieces. Their coach did an amazing job this season, and I mean, Stephanie White has had to deal with adversity the entire season
Yeah.
and trying to figure. I mean, right when she would come up with new rotation injury, so it's
Hmm.
kind of like, man, like trying to keep it together, and it's going to be hard. I
Hmm.
think for Indiana. I think you're right. I think Atlanta would sweep. I mean, I have Atlanta
Hmm.
2-0. Man, I'm just doing all these sweeps. This is horrible. I
Yeah.
need to switch it up a little bit. But what is that? Who is the X factor outside of Kelsey Mitch? Oh, I guess you said, no, you didn't. You said Phoenix, but I mean, not Phoenix, Atlanta. But who for Indiana outside? Because Kelsey Mitchell, Lee Boston, they're going to need help.
Hmm. I mean, it's gonna be the veteran leadership from Natasha Howard. She's gonna have to
The
have
champ.
games. Yeah, she's gonna have to turn it up a notch
Yeah.
than what she's been doing during the regular season
Hmm.
because, like I said, it comes down to that big matchup, right?
I think you're
So
right.
she's got
Yeah.
to support Aaliyah. They can't get in foul trouble because they're gonna have to
Yes.
either be able to rotate like how because Atlanta oftentimes will have one in that like they might both start the game, but lately they've been
Lately,
doing
yeah.
one off the bench. So
Yeah. Which is tough.
on the fever side, they might have to think about their matchup and having someone maybe come off the bench to keep it even and battle them. So,
Yeah. It's gonna be a gritty performance because we all know Indiana is gritty.
hmm.
So I'm excited, but I personally think Atlanta sweeps this series. I think that's gonna get a lot of is a drawback, but I think Indiana's depth with the injuries, no fault to
Hmm.
them. I think fully healthy, this is a go to three series, a coin toss.
Oh yeah,
But the depth is just it's a crucial piece, especially in playoffs.
right. And I mean, no
Um,
Caitlin Clark. It's just sorry.
that's
It's
rough.
just going to be Atlanta's year this year.
Yeah. Meg, what was your prediction for the series?
Sweep, Atlanta
Wait.
sweep.
Okay. Okay, over to the third playoff game. Phoenix versus New York. A juicy, juicy matchup. Oh my God. Liberty are actually favored. I mean, if I was the X Factor, I'd take offense to that because I've been to a Phoenix game and
Hmm.
X Factor is popping in there, okay? And I know New York at home is also popping, but hey, the X Factor, they be showing out. In Phoenix beat New York 3-1 in the regular season. Obviously, New York dealt with a lot of injuries in the regular season.
Hmm.
We're assuming they're all healthy going into playoffs at this point. With that said, though, Meg, I'm not saying is it too late, but is it going to be more difficult? I feel like the full healthy, especially with the new addition of Emma Meesseman to New York, is it too late for the cohesion, especially in a playoff game against Phoenix? This is a tough matchup. Is it
Hmm.
going to be too late? Like, what's your perspective on that?
I think Emma's had enough time to fit. I feel like she joined their team and didn't skip a beat, honestly.
Yeah.
So I don't think that that is going to play a part. I think it's just the fact that Brianna just hasn't really been Brianna Stewart this year. We've all
Mhm.
seen it. She's dealt with some injuries.
Mhm.
She had an injury during the off season kind of thing. So this just really hasn't been her bounce back year from that. And
Mhm.
then we left the regular season off with Sabrina being dealing with the injury.
Mhm.
So that's really tough, especially when Phoenix is the opposite, right? They dealt with their injuries, and
In the
on the
beginning.
stretch at the end, they were all healthy and
Yeah.
gelling and preparing for this game.
Yeah.
So I just think that Phoenix is just in a position where they're ready for this playoff game, where I don't think New York is fully ready yet.
Okay. Because that's the thing. It's like not New York. Phoenix dealt with their injuries in the beginning and then they got the time to play together. New
Hmm.
York, I feel like we haven't seen
Yeah,
Sabrina, Brianna, Jonquel, Emma Meesseman, all these pieces together for an
when one
extended
came
period of
back,
time.
one went out. Yeah.
Yes. And it's like, how does that affect a team, in your
Hmm.
opinion?
It does heavy,
Yeah.
right? It messes it up for the coach on the rotation. I mean, don't get me wrong; these are all professionals. They all know how to adapt.
Yeah.
But it's all about chemistry. It's all about getting that time to just like learn certain things. Like you're used to someone always being at that spot or being there when you need them, and it's just a different vibe. I mean, the last game you had Emma starting for a long stretch, and then now she's coming off the bench. It's just different, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's
Mm-hmm.
always a difference when you start compared to coming off a bench. It's a different mindset you go into. But you know, don't get me wrong. New York is a talent. I mean, come on, defending champs.
She's
You
just
know,
so talented.
they do find ways to go off. We say it during the regular season, like when they're hitting threes. I mean, come on, they're Phoebich, Johanna when they
Johannes.
Johannes when they start shooting the threes, they make it look so easy and it's just like
It's hard to
unstoppable.
stop.
Yeah, but I'm leaning Phoenix here.
But I will say, I feel like both I feel like when we were looking at it in the beginning for Mercury, we are like, oh, they have no depth. But then they got to play early, that depth got to play early. And I feel like that
Hmm.
was helpful. So I want to say, in New York's depth, New York has depth. New York's good. So it's just like, I think the only fault for New York is their time together as a fully healthy unit. I think that, affects the matchup. And I think for me, this game goes all three games. And I'm torn on the winner. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think, like I said, I already told you New York's fault. I feel like Phoenix's fault is their depth, like compared to New York's depth. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like New York's depth a little bit better than
Hmm.
Phoenix's, just in my opinion. Um, with that said, I mean, do you have this game going all three?
Yes.
I mean, the series. Who
Yeah.
do you have winning though?
Phoenix.
I knew you were gonna say
I
that.
just think Phoenix, I mean, yeah, we all know I'm an AT fan, but I think that Phoenix though, they're able to play at a different speed. And New York has their own rhythm of basketball. Like they are bigger. They do play at a different speed. And I just think with Copper and Satu and AT, like that's a monster where any one of them can bring the ball up. They can play multiple positions.
Mhm.
And I just feel like the X factor is going to be behind them. It's going to be loud in that arena. So I just look at it where both teams win at home. And then
I
that last game
know.
being back at the X Factor, I just feel like it's going to be crazy, and I just think that gives Phoenix that upside in the series.
The thing about it though for me is the uncertainty behind Sabrina's health because I mean
Right.
we saw her pop off like in the beginning
Yes.
of the season and I feel like she obviously Jonquil, I mean you need her to win, right? I'm
Hmm.
not saying she's not an X factor, but I feel like if Sabrina is on her game and how she was playing, and she was in early MVP conversations. If she's playing like that, I think it's hard for New York to lose this game. And it's
And
like,
have we
what?
heard anything yet, too,
I think
about her status?
I actually do not know.
Let
I'm
me see if I
assuming
can
she's
find it.
playing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming everything was cautionary, like her sitting out and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, I believe, yeah, Phoenix wins one at home, New York wins one at home. And that third game, it's just so difficult for me to decide. Like I said, X Factor, that fan base is gonna pop out, and I just see it going. If Sabrina pops off like she's been playing, it's gonna be hard for them to stop. It's gonna be hard for them to stop Jonquil and Emma Meesman that size.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Especially if Phoenix gets in foul trouble. That's my concern. That size. I mean, they have. I mean, Satu, but is Satu, who's Satu gonna guard? She's not gonna guard John Quill. Like, there's holes. And
Mm-hmm.
because you said Phoenix, I want to split our decision because we've been too same. I want to go New York.
Mm-hmm.
Defending
Okay.
champs out week or out the round one would be shocking to me, I think, more than
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix being out round one. Even though I really think Phoenix is a really good team. I think this is the hardest. I take back my Indiana and Atlanta is the hardest. This is the hardest one. This is the hardest series for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, over to our last game of the series. Las Vegas versus Seattle. Vegas is favored by 6.5 points. Series split 2-2. Not shocking. I feel like Vegas and Seattle has this like rivalry, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
not shocked they split. We all know Vegas had a rocky start in the beginning. What are your initial thoughts of this game? Because this is like that one year the Vegas wins. I mean, with Sue Bird, Brianna Stewart on Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
just that rivalry, like how just hectic that series was, and I feel like we could potentially maybe see it again. What do you think?
Yeah, so you've been saying which matchups you think is the
Yeah,
toughest. This is the matchup I
really,
think is going to be the toughest
really okay.
because yes, I know that Seattle has gone on quite a stretch of like struggle boat. Like they
I've
started
never
kind of
heard struggle
strong.
boat. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
you make up stuff as your mind's twirling, but they've been struggling, right?
Yeah,
And so I just feel like I look at both teams and they're both kind of like their depth is, in my opinion, very similar. I think I would give Seattle the slight edge because
really.
Dominique
I wouldn't.
has
Okay,
really
Dominique.
been,
Gotcha.
she's been blossoming. We've seen her great. She's got so much confidence now.
Mm-hmm.
She's really able to come off the bench and have a big impact in games. And we've
Yeah.
seen that down the stretch. On Ace's side, KB, unreliable in my opinion. She's
She's
not
been
super
doing well
consistent,
lately.
but it's not at the consistent level that we've seen Dominique now showing us. You got Dana Evans. She's actually been peaking at the right time. But it's just, to me, it's fairly even, right?
Okay.
Because anyone coming off of either bench, you're kind of like, okay, are they going to have a big impact this game or not? So then it's come down to that starting five on both teams. And both teams starting five is just so talented.
Mm-hmm.
They really are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, NECA is a bucket. Asia is a bucket. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
they are strong. So I just really think this is going to be the most competitive. And Seattle is going to come with passion.
Yeah.
They're two
Obviously, yeah.
passionate teams. So this
Yeah.
is going to be a head to
It really
head,
is.
like,
It is. I mean, every game they played this season was close.
mm-hmm,
It wasn't really like anything crazy, right?
mm-hmm. Is
Vegas is on the
Cheyenne back as well? Have we heard anything
yes,
about?
she did play. She
Hmm,
played limited minutes, so I mean that's helpful.
yeah.
Come on, especially if people get in foul trouble.
Mm-hmm,
So I like that depth piece for Vegas. Um, I personally think I have to disagree with you on the depth because Seattle barely uses their bench. I mean, like, okay, Dominique, yes, great. Finally, it's not a player thing. I think it's a Noel Quinn thing of like, I don't like to play outside of, 7 players, 8 players, maybe,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, for Vegas, they're on the win streak. I'm
Mm-hmm.
riding this hot hand, this confidence. There's just no way they could just let Seattle beat them round one. I mean, that would be devastating, I think.
With
honestly.
how hot Aces have ended the regular season, I
Yes.
do think that they're so together right now. They're so locked in
Yes.
because no team goes on a streak like that
No.
not being locked in.
Yeah, no.
Whereas Seattle, right, they
It's like
were grabbing and trying to hold on to any last little bit of hope to squeeze back into playoffs at the end there. So you have two teams coming in going through different things, right? So, um, yeah, I have Aces with the upside in this game.
definitely. I
I
mean
mean, the series.
yeah, but it's like just the win streak, like you said, the locked inness. That's not a
Hmm.
word, but like they have locked in. They have set this internal standard for themselves. They're
Right.
playing really well. Jewel Lloyd coming off the bench has been the greatest move they've done. All season. And then they bring in Alyssa Smith. And Alyssa Smith is playing so well next to Asia. Can't forget about that. And then now you get Cheyenne Parker back. This is going to be scrappy from Seattle.
Yeah.
Obviously, Seattle is going to, what's it called? Scratch and, no, claw and scratch. Is that the word I'm
Yeah.
looking for? In this game, I know they split their series, but I think the Aces are just on a different level right now. NECA's been playing out of her mind. I understand that. And then Dominique off the bench. For me, I have Vegas sweeping.
We talk about X factors, right?
Yeah.
We talk about what each team needs to be able to change this series, right, in their favor. So when I look at Seattle, NECA's going to do NECA things, and I think it comes down to Skylar and it comes down to Ezzy because Skylar, she's not always hot, right? She finds other ways to try to get it done, but she's not
Hmm.
always putting up the numbers needed for them to get that W. And I
Hmm.
think that that's where we're going to have to see a different Skylar in the playoffs for Seattle to truly have that chance because we saw it all year that NECA can still do NECA things and they still don't get that W,
Yeah.
right? And then on the Aces side, I think it's the same thing. We have Asia killing it, we've had Jackie killing it, and then it always just comes down to that one extra person that's just going to get it
Hmm.
done. And we all know Chelsea always
Playoff
turns
Chelsea.
into a different person
Playoff
when
Chelsea.
playoffs are on the line.
Yeah.
Um, and so, just off of that, I also do think that the Aces are going to sweep,
You
but
do. Okay.
but I do think they're going to be such close games. Like, I
Yeah.
think within like 8 points
Probably less.
every
Honestly,
series.
the thing is I feel like every Seattle Vegas playoff game is just
Mhm.
the series to be tuned into. Um, I'm surprised because you said this was a hard pick, but you have aces sweeping.
Because I do think they're going to be such close. I think the games are going to be
The games are
stressful.
gonna be.
Like
Gotcha.
the games are going to be close. Because like the other series, I feel like, do I think like New York's going to
Yeah,
steal
New
one?
York and Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that the scoring, like when they steal it, there's going to be a gap in that score. Like
Interesting.
they're going to actually like kind of pull away and like it
Okay.
won't be close every single game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that no, Seattle Aces, every game is gonna be like nail biter to the end.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is gonna be a good series. I like all these, these last two matchups. Or actually, I like all three of them except Minnesota Golden State. I
Well,
know that one's gonna be hard.
I did just see a notification that Tiffany Hayes is fully practicing.
Good. Good.
So that is a good sign for Valks.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. All right. Well, let us know what you guys think. We'll be here every single round, previewing each round, recapping each round, and giving our predictions. Meg, let's just predict it right now. Who do you have in the final?
Probably Minnesota and the Aces.
Man, you Steeler. That was gonna be mine. Minnesota Aces. Who wins it?
I
Seven
think,
game series. 7 game series this year.
in the very beginning of this year, I said the Aces would win.
You
I'm gonna
did.
just stick with that and ride out with Aces.
That's crazy. I can't believe you said that. I'm the Aces fan.
Yeah, and you're going Minnesota?
It's going to be hard to compete. Minnesota as a whole, Aces are on a hot streak to be continued. You
Yeah.
guys just know who's in my final. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to comment what you guys think, who you think is going to win each series in round one. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video, and we'll be back. Peace.